Hello, welcome to the woods. Adventure awaits, and it's great to have you along for the journey as we explore along these creeks and scenic wilderness areas out here in nature, enjoying the sounds of the birds, fresh air. The sun is coming out, and I'm seeing some wildlife along these areas, some alligators in the water here. It's really nice to see them out here in their habitat. Let's take a journey into these woods and see what we can discover along the way. See remnants from an old railroad line here. One time in the old days, trains were traveling through these areas above the surrounding swamps here. You see traces from the railroad right by this creek here. You can see where the railroad line here was built up. Exploring off the beaten path, deep into these woods. A lot of water in this area, it's flooded out. We'll see how far we can make it in. The railroad line isn't too far from here. It goes right to the woods here. This area out here may have been used at one time. I can see some clearings, little pathways. Found this old pathway. May have been used as a road at one time. Just seeing how far it goes back into this area of the woods. It continues on for quite a ways. See some clearings over in this area, some places that appear to have been built up. Let's explore around there. A lot of mosquitoes out here today. But there is a lot of water in the area and we've had some rain, so that explains why there are a lot of bugs out, but that's okay. It's not going to stop us from exploring these woods. The adventure continues. Now, it's interesting roaming around these places. At one time, people had homesteads or ranches throughout these areas. And you may not know that exploring through these woods because nature's reclaimed much of these areas here, but traces from the past can still be observed if you look close enough. Now, I've been roaming through this area for a while. I'm not seeing much out here, just some clearings, but I am seeing some old pathways that may have been used at one time in areas that have been built up, so it's hard to say. Let's keep exploring. Some blocks out here. I know the woods. Just came across this area and saw these, so there's some sort of structure or something out here at one time, perhaps. This area here was an old road used at one time by some of the early settlers in the area. It's built up above these surrounding swamps. There's the floodplain. get a real sense of the past. Exploring these areas in the woods takes you back to another time. Just imagine the old vehicles and people traveling through here on this road at one time. Perhaps even horses and stagecoaches as well. Many layers of history in these places. Now that's interesting. There's an intersection here on this pathway. It leads off into another direction there. Which way to go? Let's explore down this direction. Getting wet in here. This area dries up. There's a clearing just up ahead. I'm following this overgrown path for a little ways. Some sort of road that leads to this, what appears to have been a homestead area at one time. I can see some foundations over there as well. Let's take a closer look. See some foundations and ruins here from a structure that once stood in this area, perhaps a homestead. And lots of activity out here at one time. You see some citrus trees growing throughout the area as well, so very interesting evidence from the past in this area. Seeing some foundations over there, and sort of make out the outline of this structure. It's built out to that section over there and extended all the way over to here where another foundation is. There may have been more to this area, that's for sure. There's a large clearing out here, and I can see some metal over there, so let's take a look around the area. See these metal remains here. Now, some of this is buried into the ground, but you can see some of this exposed here. Appears to be part of a vehicle. What do you think? Just over here, I can see some metal partially buried in the ground there. Appears to be some sort of old vehicle. Been on for quite some time. Most of it's covered up. See some barrels laying around the area as well. Once was a bridge across over this area where it's built up. You can see this floodplain here where it's been getting a lot of water and flooding into this area where this creek is. This pathway here, tram, built up along these swamps. You can see the supports there from the bridge.